Every day opens a new door to learn, to grow, to connect with special people. People who in big ways and small improve your life. Every moment, another chance to achieve a goal, to buy a home, grow a business, start a family, and build lifelong relationships. Bank with trust. Bank with experts. Bank Maspeth.
Opened in 1925, Rose Hill Gymnasium is the oldest continuously used on-campus arena in Division I basketball. And on the second Sunday in March at 3 o'clock, it is home to the CHSAA Class AA Intersectional Final. On this court, high school greats became legends. It's where Lou Alcindor played his final high school game, leading Power Memorial to a third straight city title. It's where Kenny Anderson and Archbishop Malloy dueled with Malik Sealy and Tallentine in one of the greatest games of all time. It's where Felipe Lopez climbed on top of the basket, draped in a Dominican flag to celebrate a title with Rice. And it's where Bevon Robin went coast to coast to beat the buzzer as Rice knocked off a loaded Christ the King team featuring future NBA players Lamar Odom, Eric Barkley, and Speedy Claxton. On this second Sunday in March at 3 o'clock, led by 3 McDonald's All-Americans and a Division I starting 5, Archbishop Stepinac is looking to do what has never been done before, win 4 consecutive city titles. Standing in their way is their rivals from the Grand Concourse in high-flying Cardinal Hayes. It is the 98th edition of the CHSAA Intersectional Championship, and it's next right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
We have reached the finish line here in the Catholic High School League, and 2 teams that a lot of people thought would be here have made the trip to Rose Hill on this Sunday. Rivals, Cardinal Hayes, Archbishop Stepinac. It is the 98th edition of the CHSAA Intersectional Championship right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. I want to thank our sponsors for today's game. Of course, Maspeth Federal Savings for all their support throughout this postseason, as well as, of course, the Tom Konchalski Foundation. Well, a pleasant good afternoon, everyone. Dylan Butler alongside Andrew DeLoya. It is an absolute privilege to be able to sit here courtside and to be able to call this game where, as we saw in that cold open, right, legends are made, Andrew.
Chills. I mean, when you watch those highlights of the history of this league and the history of this facility, it really does give you goosebumps. And no place I would rather be on a Sunday at 3 o'clock than right here at Rose Hill Gymnasium.
And that's what these guys on the court are facing right now, right? We know their greatness. We've seen it throughout the season, but this is where legends are formed, and we'll see who becomes a legend in about 2 hours' time.
Right. It could be an instant classic right in front of our eyes, and memories are made right here on a stage like this with special players, special coaches, and it's really, really exciting.
Let's take a look at the bracket and see how these 2 teams got here. As you see here, by way of facing each other in the Archdiocese Championship game, a game that Stepinac had won, they both earned double byes, which helps them because things earlier on were pretty wacky. So they both got to the quarterfinals, handled business. Stepinac beating their rivals, Iona Prep, in the quarters. And then you see Hayes beating Nazareth. And then it was the semifinals where Stepinac defeated Holy Cross and Cardinal Hayes knocked off Monsignor Scanlon.
Yeah, the double bye was essential for both of these teams, and the parity in this league is unlike anything we've seen in recent years. You know, teams that are 16-16 playing in championship games.
Let's take a look at some of those moving images from Wednesday here as Monsignor Scanlon looking to win this Battle of the Bronx. Anthony Venzin taking on Bryce Yancey, and Yancey in transition, so fearless, going to the hoop. What a performance it was out of him. Javon Webb, just an absolute force inside for Monsignor Scanlon as they were looking to try to pull off the upset. Christian Brown follows up his own miss with a make. And then Hector Almodovar does things that he's done all year. The lead pass leaking ahead. Yancey, season high 23 points. And then Amadou Barry, little step back, 22 for him as Cardinal Hayes cruises 71 to 49. In the nightcap, Peyton Wilson and Holy Cross looking for the upset. And Malachi Miller got things started with the jumper. Wilson would follow as well, and Holy Cross certainly got Stepinac's attention early on. But then Darius Ratliff finds Jack Coco underneath, backdoor, and then Ratliff to Ratliff, just like they do in the driveway. And Josh Rivera filling in for the injured Josiah Jervis from the Bronx River Parkway. And Stepinac books a 7th consecutive finals appearance. So outstanding stuff from both of these programs. And now we talk a little bit about Cardinal Hayes, a team that we've seen a lot of this year, 21-8 on the year. Remember, though, this is a team that started out 0-3. That included a loss to Stepinac on the Grand Concourse. Then it was 1-4. And there were doubters all around the city. What's wrong with Hayes? Hayes is down this year. And every game that we've done where we've interviewed a player, and it feels like no matter who that player is, Andrew, that is the rallying cry. Nobody believed in us, but yet here we are.
Yeah, and I think there was 3 people that started to believe in them. You, me, and Joe Lodes. And listen, they were trying to establish their identity. And early in the season, Joe Lodes was doing hockey-style substitutions 5 at a time. And once he found his group that clicked and they really worked together, sharing the basketball, up-tempo style, exciting to watch, they are a dangerous team. And if you're Pat Massaroni, you have to watch out.
And Pat Massaroni said in our conversation with him leading in, they are so scary offensively, and the way that they're able to score in bunches and score so quickly, he said, was going to keep him up for nights leading up to this one. And Hayes has had contributions from so many players this year. But Andrew, in this championship game, we feature their 2 big dogs, right? Malik Fields and Amadou Barry.
Yeah, you see Malik Fields. He's got such an outstanding handle. He can finish around the rim. We've seen him do this all year long. He can hit that corner 3. That's his patented spot. He loves that area. And then he can drive it. He can score on all 3 levels. Coach Pecora at Quinnipiac is excited. And that's why he also offered this guy, Amadou Barry. Amadou Barry brings such an interesting dimension to this team. He's got such a soft touch. He can offensive rebound. He can hit the short jumper. He can bang threes from deep. And he's just so good around the basket. And he's an unselfish passer as well, Dylan.
He absolutely is. And Cardinal Hayes will need to get the best out of these 2 guys here this afternoon if they are going to pull up the upset.
Yeah, listen, they got 55 total points from Barry and Yancey, and Fields has been Fields all year long. I mean, he garners so much attention, and he still finds a way to average 18.
So those are the big dogs and the story for Cardinal Hayes. And now we look at Archbishop Stepinac, 24-4 on the season. We were here a year ago when they needed a few breaks late. They had a rally from down 6 inside the final minute to beat St. Raymond's in overtime, and that was their 3rd consecutive Catholic League championship. And about a month later, Josiah Jervis goes on to social media, and he puts the world on notice and saying, we are looking to make history this year and win 4 in a row. And now that puts certainly pressure on the backs of these guys. But interestingly enough, Pat Massaroni said that pressure kind of was alleviated when you go down to Maryland and you lose to St. Francis of Maryland in your number 1 in your first game of the year as the number 1 team in the country by max preps.
Yeah, it took a little bit of that pressure off. It lowered the expectation level a little bit from outsiders. It didn't change the expectation level of the program and the coaching staff. They know what they can do. They know who they are, and they are a special, special team.
And again, you know, we look at the Catholic League, and you know, we've joked about it, Andrew, but you know, like how much of a kind of an amateur historian, I like to be. I love the history of this league. I've come up through this league.
Can I interrupt you? You're a semi-pro historian.
But again, consider this. There are 4 teams, or 3 teams, who have won 3 consecutive championships. Actually, 4. I've never been good at math. St. Francis Prep in the mid-50s when they had Tom Stiff, who broke racial barriers to be a leading part of that team. And then you got Power Moore. We showed you the highlight of Lou Alcindor in his final high school game here on this court beating Rice. They went 3 in a row from 1963 to 1965. And then he had Tallentine from 1980 to 82, Damon Glover and Darrell Johnson leading the way there. And then Christ the King in 2015 to 18 with Raleigh Alkins and Jose Alvarado. Those are all your three-peats. So that's rarefied air as it is. Stepinac looking to do, Andrew, what has never been done by winning 4 in a row.
Yeah, it would just be an amazing feat for this team. They would go down in the history books as one of the best teams to ever come out of this league. And it's so exciting to be here and see it live and be in the front row for it. These are once-in-a-lifetime type players that you're seeing here going on to play at the Division I level. And we'll talk about that a little bit more, but the depth of talent is really, really something to be seen.
And that's what Pat Massaroni called this team, a once-in-a-generation type of team. Again, you've got 3 McDonald's All-Americans, which also has never been done before in this league. 5 Division I commits in your starting 5, and a couple more on the bench as well. So an outstanding team. A big question mark leading into this one for the Crusaders was the health of Josiah Jervis. Sat out in the semifinal win after sustaining an ankle injury in the quarterfinals. But as you can see, warming up, he's good to go. He is in the starting lineup. And what a difference maker Josiah Jervis is, as well as Hassan Qureshi. Qureshi, the guy coming right here to Fordham to play his basketball.
Yeah, he's going to make this coaching staff, Mike Macpeo and the crew, extremely happy. He really, really can play. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in the broadcast.
Yeah, let's meet our impacts for this one. And there he is, Hassan Qureshi.
Right on cue. I mean, he can handle the basketball. He's an electric player. He can finish around the rim. He's athletic. He's got a nice little mid-range game, which you'll see here. And he also can shoot the rock. And he's so unselfish. And he's just got a great team attitude. And then this guy who was missed the other night, Josiah Jervis, heading to Michigan State to play for Tom Izzo. If you could do that, that's a pro move right there. That fadeaway that cannot be blocked. The athleticism on the alley, right? Everything he brings to the table. The finish when he was injured. You know, he just does so much for the squad. And, you know, their points match their talent. You got Qureshi with 14, Jervis with 18. And how about Rivera filling in for Jervis with 20 the other night in the semis?
Yeah, Josh Rivera, an outstanding junior. He's going to be the alpha next year for this team. But listen, it is Qureshi and Jervis and the twins and Dylan Perry. What a team this Stepinac unit is. They beat Cardinal Hayes 3 times during the year. Can they make it a 4th? We, of course, spoke with both of these head coaches, and here's what they identified as their keys, Andrew, of this game.
Prep is everything in a game like this. Coach Loads has his guys ready. Easier said than done, limiting easy baskets from Stepinac. They want to run good offense. Cardinal Hayes is underrated in terms of executing offense, and then be fearless. Let it rip. If you're Pat Massaroni, limit live ball turnovers. That's the first step to Hayes' offense, is generating offense off of turnovers. And then guard the three-point line. Make sure guys like Christian Brown and Yancey don't get hot. And then embrace the moment and the challenge of making history.
So it's Cardinal Hayes. It is Archbishop Stepinac, the 98th edition of the CHSAA Intersectional Championship game. We will have the starting lineup in the opening tip when we return here from beautiful Rose Hill Gymnasium in the Bronx. It's all right here in the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Every day opens a new door to learn, to grow, to connect with special people. People who in big ways and small improve your life. every moment, another chance to achieve a goal, to buy a home, grow a business, start a family, and build lifelong relationships. Bank with trust. Bank with experts. Bank Maspeth.
You've seen the dedication, the long hours, the early mornings, the sacrifice. You know your athlete has what it takes, but how do you make sure the right people see it? The recruiting process isn't easy. Coaches are flooded with highlights. But how do you stand out in the crowd? At Varsity Media, we specialize in creating game-changing ISO videos, high-definition, athlete-focused footage that highlights exactly what college recruiters want to see. With our up-close ISO video, we capture your athlete's key moments. No more wide angles showing other players. This is just your athlete's pure, raw talent. This is more than a video. This is the opportunity your athlete deserves. Give your athlete the edge they need. Make the right impression with Varsity Media's ISO video service. The future starts now.
Help keep Varsity Media's broadcasts free on YouTube by considering an advertising sponsorship. Our coverage of local games helps local businesses get visibility in the community. To learn more about our sponsorship packages and rates, email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media @Varsity Media.
And welcome back to Rose Hill Gymnasium. Crowd still filing in here. What a beautiful afternoon it is here in the Bronx. That's what Joe Load said. Listen, he likes to play when the season changes. That means that he's doing something right. So he said if we're playing during baseball season and we're still alive, we got something good going on here as you see the two teams meeting at midcourt after the code of conduct was read. And again, it was all Stepinac. It's the third time in the last 5 years they played each other. And it's also the third year where they go 4 games. But the other 8 games were split. Stepinac has won all 3 of these regular season games. Let's send it over to Naz, our PA guy, to bring you through our starting lineups. So final huddles for both of these teams, and we will get set to tip off. Our officiating crew for today's contest, it is Sean Morgan, Steve Salustio, and Jimmy Nolan. For Sean Morgan, this is his 4th Catholic AA championship game. For Salustio, his 5th. And how about Jimmy Nolan making his first Catholic League AA Finals appearance?
Just as it is for the players and coaches, it's an honor for the referees to be assigned a game like this. It's a tribute to the effort they put into their craft throughout the season.
So just about set to go here from Rose Hill Gymnasium. There are student buses that we were told would make their way here, maybe a little bit delayed, as a little bit of a late arriving crowd here, but here we go, ready to start. One thing Joe Lodes had said to us is we need to get out to a fast start, maybe put a little bit of pressure on this vaunted Archbishop Stepinac team.
Well, we saw Holy Cross do that in the semis, and Stepinac answered the call.
And here is Josiah Jervis, the ankle right now just fine. Ratliff over to Perry, guarded by Barry. Back out to Darius Ratliff. Hands off to Caressy. This will be his home floor next year. Caressy's jumper is short. Barry the rebound, and now Hayes will look to push.
They get the ball up the court so quickly. You see their sideline break there, and then they make good decisions. When it's not there, they run offense.
That's Hector Almodovar, the sophomore, to AB. Christian Brown for three. Back rim, no good. And Ratliff pulls down the rebounds.
Good look on the opening set by Coach Lode's crew. Just didn't go down for Brown.
Ratliff to Ratliff. We have seen that before here. And Darius scores off the assist from Adonis.
Yeah, and if you're Coach Massaroni, that's what you want to see. It's a good idea to take advantage of the mismatch inside early and establish that that's where you want to go, and you want to get easy buckets.
Almodovar to Yancey. Gets it back from Fields in the corner. Yancey tries to go baseline, loses it. And Adonis Ratliff comes away. Drives, he'll lose the ball. CB comes away. Now here's Yancey open floor. This is where Hayes is the most dangerous. Fields corner three, side rim, no good. Battle for the loose ball. And Sean Morgan says we're staying here.
Yeah, that's the way Hayes wants to play. They want to get out in transition. We've mentioned it so many times, the West Coast offense style of play. Drive it, kick it, spread the floor, hit the open threes.
Almodovar to inbound. The Cardinal Hayes inbound plays have been the stuff of legends. Corner kick, Yancey, bang! Right in front of the Stepinac bench.
Yeah, Yancey is such a fearless player. He had 23 in the semis.
And now they will pressure full court. Some contact, no foul, as Fields hit the floor. Turnover. Here comes Yancey. He loses it. Battle for it. Fields. We will have a jump ball, and that possession arrow favors Cardinal Hayes.
Coach Lodes and the Cardinal Hayes bench is fired up. It's always important to win that first loose ball of the game, and that's really what Hayes did there by diving on the floor.
After the win on Wednesday night, Lodes gave his guys off Thursday, and then he said, we're going to practice hard Friday at 3, Saturday at 3, and then go full out here Sunday at 3.
That's the sign of an experienced coach, knowing what your team needs. Sometimes this time of year, less is more.
Fields for three. No good. Rebound goes to Darius. Gets it back, and the flush for Ratliff, and again, it's Ratliff to Ratliff.
That's NBA talent you're looking at right there.
4-3 early lead for Stepinac. There's Yancey guarded by Caressy. Yancey pulls up, too strong off the glass. Now Caressy tries to get it to Jervis. Jervis for the triple. Back rim, no good. Christian Brown the rebound. Quick outlet from Almodovar to Fields. The Quinnipiac commit gets to the foul line. Kicks to Yancey. Short. Another battle for the ball. And we are going up and down in a frenetic pace. And there's the finish inside by Darius Ratliff.
Both teams are so skilled, and they get the ball up the court so quick. On those two transition trips back and forth, there was probably 3 dribbles.
Yancey hands off to Almodovar. Christian Brown for three. Bang!
When he gets his feet set and he holds his follow through, there's very few shooters better than him in the Catholic League.
Perry misses the three. Now here comes the Cardinals the other way. Barry looks for options, and they'll go back to Almodovar, who gets the play from Loads. The playbook has been limited this year because they have gone so much to, as you mentioned, the West Coast getting up and down. Here comes Jervis now looking to go the other way. Jervis, what a feed down low, and Caressi with the finish.
When you take a look at Jervis early on in this game, it looks like he's got his weight on both feet equally. It looks like that ankle is strong and adrenaline is flowing. He's going to be just fine today.
8-6, the early lead for Stepinac. Here is Almodovar, bounce pass. Barry double teamed, loses it, another loose ball. Yancey comes away. Brown spins, too strong. Rebound goes to Ratliff, and look at the hustle by Yancey.
Yeah, I thought Brown had Almodovar in the corner open, and you want to get this guy open in the corner. That's his spot.
Fields with a triple. And that all became a reality thanks to the hustle defensively by Bryce Yancey.
Yeah, Bryce Yancey doesn't even think about diving on the floor. He just does it.
What a tough shot by Adonis Ratliff. We quickly go the other way. CB tries to bounce it inside the Fields. They took away Fields in that Archdiocese final. Fields up and under, no good. And now Perry, 1-on-4, and he still takes it hard to the hoop. The Monmouth commit, and we'll have a 30-second timeout by Cardinal Hayes. With this pause in the action, Varsity Media reminds parents, coaches, and booster clubs, if you'd like coverage of your team on Varsity Media, contact us today to book a sportscast. Your team deserves the best coverage with the best announcers like Andrew DeLoya. Any team at any level can book by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
How about Stepinac getting out in transition? Dylan Perry taking it right to Amadou Barry's chest. That was really good defense, just a little bit better offense by number 10, Dylan Perry.
Yeah, Perry much improved on the offensive side of things this year. He will head to Monmouth.
I thought that was a really good timeout by Coach Loads to try to stop the momentum. It's still a one-possession game. He settled down his troops 6 minutes in. He can maintain a same lineup and give them a little breather and set up a set piece, which they've gotten before. That pass was just a little bit late.
Yeah, Caressi read it well. Josh Rivera into the game. Here's Caressi. No good. Almodovar with the rebound. Rivera was outstanding for Josiah Jervis. We spoke as there's a turnover. We spoke with Pat Massaroni, and he said, people were asking me, are you nervous that you don't have Jervis tonight? He said, well, you have to understand who Josh Rivera is.
Exactly. And the other thing Pat said about that was nobody's going to feel sorry for us in losing a Big Ten player for one game when we have the other talent on our bench, and we're not going to feel sorry for ourselves. It's next man up mentality, and to that point, you see Mr. Coco about to check in.
Perry for three, no good. Loose ball. AB comes away, hands it off to Fields. Now Christian Brown in transition. Strong first step to the hoop, and CB gets the layup.
Yeah, that was a really, really good move by Christian Brown. He attacked the rim and he changed speeds, which if you're a young player out there and you're watching, changing speed, changing direction is vital.
Perry to the corner. Rivera. The pass down low and the rejection from behind. A couple of substitutions here for Stepinac. You mentioned the heart and hustle guy. Jack Coco coming in, and Ratliff returns as well.
Yeah, you see here Rivera dishing it off to Caressi, and Christian Brown just sticking with the play. That's been a really, really good part of Christian Brown's game later in the year. He's utilizing his athleticism a little bit more on defense. And now Suleiman Cohn has checked into the game.
And he'll come in for Almodovar. The look down low, and called for the foul was Barry, which will send Ratliff to the line. So to your point, you bring in Cohn, who's a little more polished offensively than Almodovar. Is another look there at the foul.
Yeah, they do different things. Listen, we've watched Hector Almodovar grow right in front of our eyes. He gets this team into offense. He's their steadying force. And then it's just like a little bit of a different tool in the toolbox when you bring in Suleiman Cohn and Nas Campbell and guys like that, because they can just bring another offensive dimension in terms of scoring. And Cohn brings a little bit more size defensively to match up with Stepinac's athleticism and height.
So Adonis knocks them both down. 3-point lead for Stepinac. Here is Cohn. He put it on the court. Look at Caressi. Right away hunted that loose ball, and now Rivera, who is an absolute deadly shooter, knocks down the jumper.
You could see why he has Division I offers. He drove the ball into a rhythm dribble to his left for a 15-foot pull-up jumper. And he's got one more year. I mean, it's got to be, it's so exciting to see what's going to happen with Josh Rivera's development over the next year or two.
Yeah, BC, Illinois, St. John's, Providence, Notre Dame, Stanford.
I've never heard of any of those schools.
All in the mix for the high academic, high athletic Josh Rivera. Nearly a steal by Coco, and there's the range that AB has.
Yeah, we spoke about it in the pregame. He's got such soft hands and such a nice touch from 15 to 17 feet.
And now Jervis with 32 seconds left. Rivera begging for the ball. And then a block was called underneath on Cohn.
Yeah, Cohn tried to step in and take the charge. You got to give him a lot of credit for stepping in on a 7-footer, going downhill full speed. Just got there a little bit late.
So Adonis Ratliff back to the line, 74% from the line this year, misses the first. He and his brother heading to USC. Of course, their dad, Theo Ratliff, a terrific NBA player, long time with the Hawks. What a defensive force he was in the league as his son goes 1 for 2.
Yeah, and 3 of 4 on the night from the line, right at his shooting percentage for the year at 74%. And Amir Smith has checked in, guarding Almodovar. Coach Massaroni does this at end of quarters to give his starters a little bit of an extra rest heading into the break.
And I think, too, to make sure they don't pick up a cheap foul late.
The other thing it does is it just gets them into the flow of the game, like a guy like Amir Smith, in case you need him later on.
Field short. Here comes Adonis the other way. Coco, no. High off the glass. And that ends an entertaining first quarter where we saw Darius Ratliff show Andrew why he is a McDonald's All-American.
Brother to brother, 14 feet of men right there.
17-13 the lead for Stepinac. You are watching the 98th CHSAA Intersectional Championship game on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Every day opens a new door to grow, to build relationships. Every moment, a chance to do more. To buy a home, grow a business, start a family. Bank with experts. Bank Maspeth.
For all the latest Varsity Media updates, including our game schedules, be sure to follow us on social media at Varsity Media, the home for New York high school sports.
Today, as the CHSAA playoffs light up the court, we proudly salute the Tom Konchalski Foundation and celebrate Tom, a true legend of New York City high school basketball. For more than 40 years, his sharp eye, quiet grace, and unmatched integrity shaped the game we love. He championed young athletes and inspired all who crossed his path, always with humility and heart. And today, the foundation carries that spirit forward through need-based scholarships, league sponsorships, and summer programs that open doors for deserving student athletes. Rooted in Tom's lifelong example of faith, virtue, and generosity, the foundation supports students who share his commitment to excellence and service both on and off the court. To learn more and to help continue Tom's mission, please visit tomk.foundation. Donate if you can, and keep his legacy alive long after the final whistle.
Dylan, there are so many people in this building who could tell a Tom Konchalski story. He was such a gentleman, a legend of the game, did so much to help players get to the next level, was so well respected, and it was really nice to hear you read those words and know that his memory is being kept alive.
Yeah, he would have his seat here, back row in the 100 section, notepad in tow, and keeping all those. They give you live stats here, which are excellent, and we appreciate it, but Tom would always keep his own stats and would also keep track not only of the stats and the individual players, but their families. He truly cared. As Rivera steps back for a triple, 2 bounces off the rim, no good, and Barry rips down the rebound, then fouled as well by Perry.
Yeah, I thought Amadou Barry did a really nice job timing his jump on the rebound. When he secures the rebound against Stepinac, it's really important for him to keep the ball high and pivot so that they can't tie him up.
And now here's Fields with Almodovar off ball. It's Perry on him. That was how Stepinac guarded him in the Archdiocese final as well. Missed jumper, and Perry leaks out. Another block by CB. And now Fields directs traffic, goes to AB, and he was stripped by Perry. Rivera ahead to Ratliff. The triple, side rim, no good, loose ball. And it will be Cardinal Hayes ball.
Yeah, I see Coach Massaroni right now a little frustrated with the shot selection. Stepinac, if they want to make an impact, needs to drive the ball and create more paint touches.
Patrick Massaroni, as he does, and it's his way, kept everything, Andrew, the same routine. Our bus leaves the same time. It's our same meal. It's everything. He's wearing the same suit.
No, he's very detail orientated, and it helps his squad. They know what to expect. They're not going to be distracted by some of the things that come along with the attention they've gotten, the travel, the logistics. It's all buttoned up.
Almodovar to inbounds. There is AB working on Ratliff. Both Ratliff boys come in. The block. AB gets the loose ball. Works his way under. Tries to muscle it inside. Taken away. Here's Jervis. Rivera wants it in the corner. They go inside instead to Konchalski. And he loses the ball, but the possession stays with Stepinac.
Hayes did such a good job walling up on Konchalski on that. I thought Konchalski could have gone right up on the first catch.
And I think the better option there could have been to Rivera. He didn't see Rivera to his left. And there he is. Count it, and the foul.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is foul a three-point shooter, and that's a tough one to stomach if you're Coach Lodes, giving Stepinac a chance for a 4-point play. You see here as we go back, Rivera gets his feet set. Fields just didn't give him that landing space, and the refs are going to get you for it every time. I'm
gonna use a Tom Konchalski quote for you.
Great.
Because he was so great with his words, right? Josh Rivera shoots like we breathe. And Rivera there completes the 3-point play. Consider the fact that Rivera is shooting 53% from beyond the arc. And it's a 7-point lead right now for the 3-time defending champions. Corner 3, Brown, no good. Flying into the expensive seats was Fields, but now here comes Ratliff the other way.
Good no call by the official, not calling that contact on Barry. They try to keep the players in this game.
A full timeout called by Cardinal Hayes, and as we have said, Andrew, this is the third matchup in the last 5 years between these two teams. Let's bring you back to Hofstra, 2022 DJ victory ahead to Ian Jackson for the dunk. And then Boogie Flange. Look at this move on the other side. This is why, one of the reasons why he's at the University of Florida. And then Jackson, watch this, on the crossover. He gets the screen from Tariq Foster. Whoop! Back to his right, to the basket, and the foul. Captain Jack and one. And then Cardinal Hayes celebrates their 4th AA title. A year later at St. John's University, there is Boogie Fland from the corner right in front of Jackson. A little bit more of Boogie, 2 of his 32 in this game. But now here comes Hayes. Jackson buries the triple, as does Choppa Moore from the top of the key. Last chance effort for Hayes. The one more. Jackson to tie. No, back rim, no good. And it was Archbishop Stepinac avenging that loss and winning their first of 3 in a row.
Just amazing players on the floor, all at big-time programs. How about Ian Jackson celebrating the Big East regular season title with UConn losing to Marquette? They picked that one up yesterday, and those highlights are just unbelievable. It's just so much talent, and there's so much talent on the floor right now.
Yancey, count that in the foul. What a look, Andrew, from Hector Almodovar.
That's Coach Loads. I mean, he does such a good job after timeouts. Great look by Almodovar over the top, and Yancey showcased his athleticism, and the reason why he will be a Division I basketball player when all is said and done.
Yancey averaging 12 points per game, 64% from the foul line, makes his foul shot. That is a big 3-point play for Cardinal Hayes, as they will now pick up again full court. Ratliff, little 7-foot point forward action for you.
That was just an unbelievable move by the big man. He looked like a guard on that one.
The fake, and that's a tough spot to try to shoot from for Fields, and that was no good.
Yeah, everything you try to do is just a little bit more difficult going against Stepinac because of their height and their athleticism and their length.
Jervis, the 3 in and out. And here comes Yancey the other way. Barry. The runner in the lane is good.
He has guard skills as well.
Jervis, he loses it, but they'll say the ball will stay with Stepinac.
Coach Massaroni's looking for a foul call on that. The refs have been extremely consistent early on.
Loads is saying, wait a minute, that's our ball. So they both are arguing their separate points.
You have to. You have to keep pleading your case because it matters.
Carassi!
He's so quick off his feet. He does such a nice job staying low to the ground as he utilizes ball screens.
The future Fordham Ram makes it 27-18. Bounce pass down low. Brown, no good. Here comes Stepinac in transition. And then Jervis, the second chance opportunity and finish. 11-point lead, the largest of the game for Stepinac, as Yancey gets fouled on his way up. Sean Morgan says 2 free throws.
Every time Hayes needs something done, Bryce Yancey is willing to do it. And you saw there we always use the word fearless, but it just keeps coming to me as we describe his game. He goes into traffic, and he always seems to land on the ground after being hit.
Makes the first, made an incredible impact, Andrew, in his freshman year. Scored more than 250 points last year. Like the rest of his teammates, a little bit of a slow start to the season, but Yancey has been so valuable to get Cardinal Hayes to this point of the season.
Yeah, he's so scrappy on defense. He has a ton of confidence, and on the day so far, in 11 minutes, he's making his impact, shooting 50% from 3 and 50% from 2.
Here is Coco. And we have a foul called off ball, as that was on Cone. Fouling Jervis, as now Ratliff comes in for Rivera. Coco to inbounds. Ratliff denied by Brown. Second chance opportunity, no good. And there is Yancey. Yancey ahead to Brown. Coco the takeaway. Excuse me, Archibald the takeaway. Jordan Archibald, the sophomore point guard. There he is. Feeds it to Coco, gets it right back. Archibald looks to go up and under, no good. Yancey, the rebounds. Christian Brown, open three. Back rim, no good. Nas Campbell has checked into the game, battling for that ball with Archibald.
Yeah, Coach Lowe's is going with a little bit of a different look, a smaller lineup to try to shake things up.
Back rim for Archibald. And here comes Christian Brown. Stops, pops, and hits.
That is such a tough shot. Look out.
Yeah, somebody forgot about Darius Ratliff. The rebound pops all the way back. Another chance and another denial as Rose Hill, at least the Cardinal Hayes contingent, rises.
I think they're going to get Yancey on that loose ball. Foul. You see here the missed dunk by Ratliff. Comes out, pops out to Archibald, right back to Ratliff, and the block by Yancey, and then the loose ball just ended in a foul.
So Bryce Yancey will tell his children one day, listen, your pops rejected the 7-footer. And they're like, come on. Like, look, watch it. Go to Varsity Media on YouTube.
He'll have the memory to prove it.
It's been interesting here a little bit with Cone and Jervis, where Cone fouled Jervis. Jervis had a little bit of a push, and the two have been chirping a little bit. Maybe something to watch here between those two as Cone claps him up, looks at Jervis. This is a rivalry, Andrew. There's no question about that. Things got a little bit heated in the regular season up in White Plains. Of course, you and I were in the Grand Concourse where that place was as crowded as can be for that early December game. Here is Cone.
Yeah, and the student section was electric that day. Hayes had a 5-point lead at halftime.
Rivera gets all 6'7" of his body up in the air. Gets the return pass, but couldn't quite handle it from Coco. Massaroni implores him to go to the basket on that. And now Caresi will come back in. So Cone to the bench and Fields back in. The lead was 11 at its highest for Stepinac. Now it's 7 points.
Yeah, the last 2 minutes of this half are so vital. There's so many momentum shifts that happen in high school basketball at the end of quarters. If you're Hayes, the goal is to keep it under 10, get it tightened a little bit. And if
you want to get that guy going as well. Yeah. Fields misses it. Jervis leaks out. And now the finish by Ratliff. Timeout called. It'll be a 30 by Archbishop Stepinac as we take a look at these last few years for Stepinac. Pat Massaroni said, listen, we lost against Archbishop Malloy in the semifinals at St. John's. Early in his career, thought we're never going to get to the championship. And look what they have done. They won that first one, and then here you see the 3 consecutive titles for Stepinac as they are chasing history here. Last year, that epic game against St. Ray's, 63-61, 2024 beating Nazareth here, 66-51, and then those 2 games that we showed you against Hayes as well. His first championship came against Christ the King in 2018. So this is actually, Andrew, the 7th consecutive finals appearance for Archbishop Stepinac, 4-2 in the last 6.
It's not easy to do. You have to get through the teams in this league. So to be on this stage again is just a tribute to Coach Massaroni and his staff. They do such an excellent job. Coach Shepard, Coach Nunez, and Coach Swain over the years.
Yeah, and we wish certainly Coach Swain all the best as he's dealing with some health issues. He has been Massaroni's right-hand man. They have been right with each other during this whole journey. Steele, Jervis ahead of the field for the layup. And that lead now back up to its highest point at 11. Christian Brown from the corner. Side rim, no good. Coco the rebound. Here comes Rivera. The alley and the oop finish by Jervis. A little bit slow getting up is Jervis. Almodovar. The runner is good.
Sweet runner by Almodovar over the big man.
Jervis to Ratliff for three, no good. Fields the rebound. As we approach the final minute of the first half, Fields whips it to a wide open AB who knocks down the triple.
That was a huge shot by Amadou Barry that also gives them a chance to get the final shot coming back the other way. 33 on the shot clock. About a 10-second differential.
Here's Rivera. And now Jervis. Ratliff fakes the three. They fly out to him, and Ratliff flies in the air for the dunk. 10-point lead for Stepinac.
As well as Stepinac has played, Cardinal Hayes has a chance to cut it to 7 or 8. Which would be a major win.
Yeah, and Andrew, they'll do that with their final shot. Fields takes a look up at 4. A, B for 3, no good. Rivera the rebound. Hey, I don't question if he has the ability to shoot from there, and he'll miss that shot, but Stepinac with the 37-27 lead here at the break. Joined now at halftime by Stepinac head coach Patrick Massaroni. And what'd you think of your team in the first half?
Look, I thought we stayed composed. I got to do a better job getting Josiah more shots. They're hugging him. They're being really aggressive with him. They're bringing a second guy to him. He got going there with a couple buckets there at the end. But we came out of that timeout saying we got to get him going. Some opportunities we gave up. But listen, to be up 10 in the championship game with a balanced attack, 2 guys with 2 and Dylan Perry and Haas, I thought we did a pretty good job. Now we got to stay focused here for the second one.
It looks like you're doing a really good job getting out in transition off of some long offensive rebounds. What are some other things you want to see your group do in the second half?
Yeah, look, when they take long threes, it usually equals long rebounds. We worked on that the last couple days. They come off in wrong directions. We got to do a good job. Christian Brown, we went over that set 65 times in the last 3 days, and they still got it on us twice. So we know they've added some wrinkles to it. We got to get out in transition. We're talking about dominate the rim. You know, unfortunately, Darius missed one there, but I think we got to keep attacking the paint, doing a good job around the rim on both ends.
All right, Patrick Massaroni, thanks for joining us, and best of luck in the second half.
Thanks, guys.
It is Archbishop Stepinac with the 10-point lead here at the break. As you see, Massaroni making his way to his locker room, and there is the McDonald's All-American flying through the air for the alley-oop. And it is apparently baseball season. Look at this. I'm not sure if this is a live look, Andrew, but the Rams are on the field here.
Yeah, I heard the sound of the bat walking in.
Halftime at Fordham, and it is a 10-point lead for Stepinac. You're watching the 98th edition of the CHSAA Intersectional Championship game on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
Every day opens a new door to learn, to grow, to connect with special people. People who in big ways and small improve your life. Every moment, another chance to achieve a goal, to buy a home, grow a business, start a family, and build lifelong relationships. Bank with trust. Bank with experts. Bank Maspeth.
You've seen the dedication, the long hours, the early mornings, the sacrifice. You know your athlete has what it takes, but how do you make sure the right people see it? The recruiting process isn't easy. Coaches are flooded with highlights. But how do you stand out in the crowd? At Varsity Media, we specialize in creating game-changing ISO videos, high-definition, athlete-focused footage that highlights exactly what college recruiters want to see. With our up-close ISO video, we capture your athletes' key moments. No more wide angles showing other players. This is just your athlete's pure, raw talent. This is more than a video. This is the opportunity your athlete deserves. Give your athlete the edge they need. Make the right impression with Varsity Media's ISO video service. The future starts now.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media.
And back here at Rose Hill Gymnasium, it is halftime of the 98th edition of the CHSAA Intersectional Championship game, and it is Archbishop Stepinac with a 37-27 lead. We are joined now here courtside alongside myself and Andrew DeLoya. It is Jason Curry, who is part of this great Tom Konchalski Foundation. And Jason, first of all, thank you for joining us here at halftime. And you know, we have talked about Tom, and you remember Tom, especially in these big occasions. I guess the first question for me is, you know, what are some of your fondest memories of the great Tom Konchalski?
So I think one of the things is, as a little kid, I actually used to come here to Jack Curran's basketball camp beginning in 1985, and Tom Konchalski was one of the counselors and coaches here, and he was actually one of my camp coaches. So I knew him as my camp coach before the history of him being a great talent evaluator. So it's you know, pretty surreal to come back here and be able to speak with him at Fordham University, where, you know, I met him back in 1985 also.
Yeah. Jay, one of the things that I always appreciated about Mr. Konchalski was his ability to remember names, right?
Oh boy, yes.
And he just like everyone he came into contact with, he made a mental note not only about their own person, but then the people in their family, right? So I'm looking around this building. You see all these people coming to honor this team and these teams out here, and everyone probably has a Tom story, right?
Yes.
Can you just speak to his ability to relate to people?
So I'll try to speak to his ability to relate to people. I definitely can't speak on his ability to remember names. That's one of a kind, and I'm terrible with names. But yeah, like he was basically like a basketball magnet.
Yeah.
And he was just so humble in the spaces in which he operated, but because of his, I believe, you know, because of his humility and his greatness, and because he was also so great at what he did, and it was just such a giving person, people were just attracted to his ability to want to serve, and that's what he did. And just kind of, you know, and just, you know, thinking about, you know, his overall mission. You know, one of the things that we try to do with the Tom Konchalski Foundation is always try to figure out what are ways in which we can give back to the New York City basketball community and the student athletes in ways that would make Tom proud. You know, so I think one of the things that we've been able to do over the past few summers is really do free basketball programs and clinics and scholarships for kids to camps. I know that a couple of days ago we were able to talk about and promote our upcoming luncheon that we're doing, the foundation over at Bryant Park Grill. But then, you know, a lot of times you'll say, okay, well, what do you do with the money? You know, so we're very appreciative and supportive of the help that we've been able to get. But now it's, you know, a lot of things that we focus on are really about impacting the kids in a way in which we can give kids exposure, scholarship opportunities, and really just propel them to greatness in lives in the ways that Tom Konchalski would, in the way that he serviced the 5 boroughs and beyond.
And Jason, last one here from us, but, you know, knowing Tom, as we all did, he would never want this attention.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, he would want it to be named after Coach Curran or somebody else. But I think the Midtown Madness that you mentioned, the awards that are given. I love that it's not the best of whatever or the best former player. It's people who have those similar attributes that Tom possessed.
Yes. So I'll touch on two things quickly. He talked about his humility. If he saw me wearing this shirt right now, he'd probably go make me put my sweatshirt back on to cover it. But I'm just honored to wear this. But yes, he was somebody that supported Division I players, Division II players, Division III players. He was at all games, so he wasn't, as you know, Dylan, he wasn't somebody that was just focused on the best of the best, but he was really looking to service these kids, public school, Catholic school, private schools, to the best of his ability. And it was just amazing how much ground and that he would cover across the 5 boroughs, being one man, because he operated as if it was, really a Tom Konchalski foundation of multiple people working for him. But, for the people that knew him, it was just him without the public transportation, no answering machine.
No cell phone.
The limited telephone, but he made it work. So, we're just all happy to play our parts, and we're appreciative of the work that Varsity Media has been able to provide for the Tom Konchalski Foundation this week, and just giving us a platform to talk about a great man and the work that the foundation is doing around the city.
Yeah, awesome stuff.
Thank you so much
Curry,
for honoring his
again,
name.
For jumping in with us as we again remember the late, great Tom Konchalski and this unbelievable foundation of his. It's halftime here at Rose Hill. We'll get some halftime stats and the start of the second half when we return here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Back here at Rose Hill Gymnasium, that view, Andrew, for me never gets old. I love it. Such a historic venue, of course, and a good first half between Stepinac and Cardinal Hayes. We take a look, Andrew, at some of the first half stats.
Yeah, you see here, obviously, a 10-point advantage for Stepinac, slight rebounding advantage of 4, and then assisted baskets. That's one of the staples of a Coach Massaroni coach team is ball movement, player movement. Points in the paint have been dominant. That's the difference in the game right there, that 18-point spread in the paint. And then Cardinal Hayes, unfortunately, has turned the ball over a little bit more than they usually do, and they haven't been able to generate turnovers against Stepinac.
And you see the field goal percentage. It has been very high in the postseason, and certainly down the stretch of the year. You go back to their semifinal win over Scanlon, where they shot 52% from the field. That number was even, I think, higher in the quarterfinals against Nazareth. So certainly that is a talking point, I'm sure, during halftime with Joe Loades.
Yeah, and you look at the score of 37-27, it almost feels like Hayes is down 17 or 18. So they're within striking distance, and they're a dangerous team. So it's not as big a lead as it would appear.
So Hayes ball to come out. And there is Yancey. Had a strong first half for his guys. Yancey with a team high 8. Here is Barry, thought about it. CB will take it, and he will drop it down through the basket. A big opening 3 to start the third quarter for Christian Brown.
Yeah, Christian Brown has done such a nice job all year round. He's peaking at the right time. He's now got 10 points on the night.
Caressi in the lane. He is such a good shooter.
Yeah, his game is all about rhythm. I mean, when he generates a pull-up jumper off the bounce, it's deadly.
There is Barry to Fields. Almodovar, Yancey, Ratliff affected that shot. And now Konchalski. Konchalski, Josiah Jervis, and Dylan Perry, Andrew. Those are your 3 4-year varsity guys. They know nothing but winning this championship. Konchalski, foul line, knew it was off, got his own rebound, unable to finish that, and then he gets called for the foul as AB got the rebounds.
Yeah, a little bit of a frustration foul there by Konchalski. He missed the bunny, and instead of just getting back on defense, he had a very, very low chance of getting that ball away from Barry, and he got a needless foul.
And here is Almodovar. Gets it to Christian Brown. Fields whips it inside to AB. The hook shot, no good. Took a few bounces off the rim. Now Darius ahead to Konchalski. Switches courts to Jervis. Nice head fake, what a great pass. And Perry the finish.
Jervis is so unselfish. That was a Magic Johnson type pass, another Michigan State guy.
6:01 remains in the third period. Stepinac leads.
Inbound underneath for Hayes. Almodovar bounces it out to Brown, and now here is Fields. A collision and a foul with Dylan Perry. Malik Fields in that first half, 1 of 8 from the field, 1 of 4 from beyond the arc. They did do a good job, Stepinac, in that Archdiocesan Championship game of taking away Fields, and that again was the focus when we spoke with Pat Massaroni.
Absolutely. If you stop Fields, you have a really good chance of beating Hayes. For Hayes, on the flip side, you need guys like Yancey and Brown and Cohn to get really hot off the bench.
And again, Perry, that junkyard dog of a defender, following Fields everywhere he goes.
Yeah, Perry brings an element of toughness to this team, an element of physicality.
And then how about some length as well from Ratliff. Back to AB. AB looks to power his way, gets the foul call on Ratliff. Again, our officials for today's game, Sean Morgan in his 4th Catholic League final, Steve Salustio, as we take a look at the foul again as Barry puts it on the court. It is Salustio's 5th Catholic championship, and Jimmy Nolan, who called that foul, it is his 1st. Barry, that 3 off the mark. Loose ball rebound goes to Yancey. Turns the corner. Yancey, the lefty layup.
Hayes has cut it to 9, trying to establish their pressure and turn this into a little bit more of a transition game.
Rivera, the look, and the jumper off the mark by Ratliff. And then Rivera affecting that one. It took a deflection off of Yancey, so Stepinac will get the ball. See Joe Lodes there speaking with Steve Salustio. Joe Lodes told us, we've got enough to beat this team once, as Konchalski finds Darius Ratliff for the slam. And you called him out. You said you're starting to sound like Herb Brooks, because he said if it was a best-of-7 series, we have no chance. He goes, best 2 out of 3, we have no chance. But give us one game, give us one opportunity. We're in this one. And AB muscles his way inside, upset that there was a no call or no foul was given, and then Rivera ran out of real estate in front of that Stepinac bench.
Yeah, Herb Brooks. We played him 10 times. They might win 9.
The lead again 11 as Almodovar gives it to Yancey.
You know, Stepinac has an 11-point lead. They've only made 1 3-point basket. So they've really made a point of driving the ball and getting the ball inside to the big men.
Which has got to be scary if you're Joe Lodes, because you know these guys and their ability to shoot the basketball. Yancey, tough jumper on Jervis.
His stock is rising by the minute. All the coaches that are in the building tonight are taking note of Bryce Yancey, and he's going to find a spot. He will be a name to remember.
We saw Manhattan's John Gallagher here in the house as Darius Ratliff finishes at the rim.
Obviously, the Fordham staff is here today.
Timeout called by Stepinac, which gives us an opportunity. We saw, if you watch those highlights earlier, these will be some familiar names now. We take a look at some of the next level players here, and there you see them. Ian Jackson, pre-haircut, now at St. John's. Chapa Moore went from Syracuse to Utah. There's Tobe Awaka. Joe Lode said he always loved that call, the Rim Rocka by Tobe Awaka. And then DJ Victory, he was the MVP of that 2022 game. And Tariq Foster, he went from UMass to Albany. Those are the next level guys for Cardinal Hayes. We take a look at Stepinac's 5, and they run the gamut here. D1 all the way down to 3. Boogie Fland at Florida. Danny Carbuccia killing it up at UMass as a true freshman. Braylon Ritvo playing for the great Tom Pecora at Quinnipiac. Malcolm Chemezi at BU, and there is Ben Little at Wesleyan.
I always love when you throw a Division III guy in the mix. It makes me feel good.
Says the former Hobart player. So midway point here of quarter number 3. The lead is 11 right now for Stepinac. Just saw the great Joe DeBarry there. He's got a good seat right by Pat Massaroni, longtime sports information director here at Fordham University. Almodovar out of the timeout, guarded by Caresi. Brown, the 3, back rim, no good. And then leaking out is Fields. Excuse me, is Ratliff. Smart play. Look out at this train coming in, the number 1 train right down Broadway.
Yeah, that's what the college coaches love about these guys. Obviously, they're going to USC, but when he can get ahead of steam going downhill, either Ratliff brother, they just put so much pressure on the defense. And then with their ability to shoot the deep ball, they're impossible to guard. If they can just increase their aggressiveness, attacking the rim a little bit, they're really, really going to have long careers, not only in college but beyond.
Darius Ratliff right now, 10 points, 7 rebounds. He's got an assist. He's 65% free throw shooter, makes the first.
When did the fake handshake thing start? Like when your teammates aren't on the line, you just do a fake handshake. What do you think? Like 5 years ago, 7
Maybe,
years ago?
yeah. I mean, I like it. As he knocks down the second. It's like what we do. Like if Chris Sweeney's not with us, we do the fake, we do the hand pump in the air before we do our open. Barry for 3, back rim, no good. It has been very difficult for Hayes from beyond the arc in this one. They started out hot early as Jervis is fouled, or sorry, they'll call it jump ball. Possession stays with Stepinac.
Hayes is 5 of 19 from 3 for 26%, while Stepinac is 1 of 9 for 11%. Sometimes happens on the big stage with the two college lines with the college line on the court.
Also with the 2 7-footers on the court, I think that maybe affects things more, considering this was the same venue as Ratliff, the fall away 3.
And they heard us from court level, questioning their ability to shoot from behind the college line and on cue.
I think we saw Ratliff in the semifinals take one from the Fordham script at midcourt. Barry forces it inside. Fields just trying to find some space. And he was fouled going up.
Yeah, Malik Fields, 3 points on the day, 1 of 8 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3.
Rhodes trying to pump his guys up. Looked over. Christian Brown was clapping his hands up, and he said, hey, listen, let's stay high. As there you see Fields, what a season he's had. Second leading scorer in this league behind Osmana Sacco from St. Francis Prep. You see Jervis right behind him at 18-1.
A lot of talented players on that list.
So Fields knocks down the next. Full court pressure. A 14-point lead. Rivera brings it down and puts it down.
And that was from the college line as well.
Rivera was a monster in that semifinal win. Now Fields turns in the lane, in and out, gets his own rebounds. Back out to Yancey. Barry.
They're trying to post up Fields a little bit more to get him going.
Almodovar, the corner kick. Yancey, 3 off the mark. And then the rebound by Adonis Ratliff. Darius Ratliff, front rim, no good. CB the other way. The one more, great pass. Good job by Yancey. Spins inside, and Bryce Yancey with the fabulous finish.
That was unbelievable. That's one for Chris Sweeney.
Coco, Rivera, bang! Christian Brown leaks out, gets hit, no foul called. And then Coco was hit by Yancey, and that foul was called.
That move by Yancey on the baseline was special. And the answer by Rivera was impressive.
Well, that's the problem for the Hayes faithful, right? You love the move by Yancey, that's for 2, and then you go -1 on the other side because you give up the 3 to Rivera.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It was a -1.
And now the lead has ballooned to 18. Adonis Ratliff. Caressi's looking to post up. Adonis gets it inside to Caressi. The steal by Fields. He'll go 1v2. Counted and the foul. Coco tried to get his feet set, did not, and Fields will get a chance to complete the 3-point play.
Yeah, Coco did everything he could to try to draw a charge on this. Just got there a little bit late, and Fields was able to finish through contact.
It has been tough sledding from Malik Fields as Suleiman Cone checks in for Almodovar. Fields, his dad, Courtney, played for Jeff Rulin back at Iona. His son will also play Division I basketball at Quinnipiac. 18.3, as we showed you, 61% free throw shooter.
Yeah, he's had an amazing year with all the attention that has surrounded him from the opposing defenses. He's found a way to continue to score and make his teammates better.
The 3-point play has cut the deficit down to 15. Here's Caressi, guarded closely by Cone. Caressi looks up at the scoreboard, and here comes Adonis. Little pick and pop, and Ratliff the triple.
That was all set up by Caressi. I would love to show the replay on that. He asked him to do it for a ghost screen, and you'll see it on the replay, and he threw a strike.
What a way to finish the third quarter. Here it is.
You see the ghost screen action, and Ratliff buries the NBA 3.
18-point lead for Stepinac as they chase history. Fourth quarter coming up next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This is Jalen Brunson. You're watching Varsity Media.
Every day opens a new door to grow, to build relationships. Every moment, a chance to do more. To buy a home, grow a business, start a family. Bank with experts. Bank Maspeth.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media.
Today, as the CHSAA playoffs light up the court, we proudly salute the Tom Konchalski Foundation and celebrate Tom, a true legend of New York City high school basketball. For more than 40 years, his sharp eye, quiet grace, and unmatched integrity shaped the game we love. He championed young athletes and inspired all who crossed his path, always with humility and heart. Today, the foundation carries that spirit forward through need-based scholarships, league sponsorships, and summer programs that open doors for deserving student athletes. Rooted in Tom's lifelong example of faith, virtue, and generosity, the foundation supports students who share his commitment to excellence and service both on and off the court. To learn more and to help continue Tom's mission, please visit tomk.foundation. Donate if you can, and keep his legacy alive long after the final buzzer. Fourth quarter underway. Hayes down by 18. They can score in a hurry, and that's what they're going to need to do here as Yancey knocks down the jumper. But the question is actually on the other side, Andrew. Can they get stops?
Yeah, they haven't been able to string too many consecutive stops together throughout this game. You need 3 stops in a row, and you need to score.
Hassan Karesi, what a great tournament he has had here on his future home floor. Perry flashes to the foul line and hits the jumper. When Perry hits those shots, if you were Joe Lodes, you just tip your cap. Here is Yancey. Up top, AB has picked up offers from Quinnipiac
and Duquesne
this year. Fields off the mark. And now Jervis comes the other way. Josiah, what a move by Jervis. Tom Izzo is gonna love that one.
Yeah, I see him limbering just a little bit on that ankle, not 100%.
Barry, the missed 3, and now the leak out. Perry, counted, and the foul.
You see here Perry getting out in transition. Barry was trying to foul him and not let him get the three-point play. It kind of backfired, and Perry, with his strength, was able to finish, and now will have a chance to complete the three-point play.
So subs for both. As he completes the three-point play. Yancey, what a great move by Bryce Yancey. Perry, he thought about it first, then he's like, you know what, if you're gonna continue to keep me this open, I'm gonna take this shot. It didn't fall. Brown to Bryce Yancey, guarded closely by Perry. The kick out to AB. And now Fields on the handoff. Uses his strength, gets to the basket for 2. Here's Adonis Ratliff to Jervis. And now if you are Stepinac, you realize the pressure is going to come, but you want to share the basketball, put the clock down, and of course still score the basketball, as Hassan Karesi does just that. Full timeout by Stepinac will take it with them as well. 5:11 left In this fourth quarter, you're watching the CHSAA Intersectional Championship game on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
So
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
Welcome back to the Bronx, New York. Here at Fordham's Rose Hill Gymnasium. It is the 98th edition of the Catholic High School Basketball League. We said at the start, Andrew, maybe, this is a game where legends are formed, and I think maybe the story more than anything is the team of Stepinac.
When I was watching,
forging their legacy, right?
Yeah, when I was watching Stepinac on one of those last possessions on a college floor, I was saying to myself, they actually would give some college teams a tough time.
That was literally what Tim Philp, the Iona prep coach, said in the prep as they played each other in the quarterfinals. Said if you look at some of these D1 teams and you put this 5 and even Rivera you bring off the bench, they're going to win some games as Yancey knocks down the triple. Here is Perry. And Jervis. And now you milk the clock if you are Stepinac. You have an 18-point lead and 14 on the shot clock. Adonis. Little jab step. 3 off the mark. Perry the rebound. They could kick it back out. Lost it on the baseline though. So Darius Ratliff and Caressi to check back in for Stepinac. Stepinac this year, they have not lost to a CHSAA opponent. They came into this game having won 18 consecutive games. Baseline jumper from Fields is good.
Yeah, Fields is starting to find his groove.
But the clock and the score, not his friend right now.
Absolutely not.
He'll guard Caressi tight.
This is how Fordham will utilize Hassan Caressi. He'll be playing the point position. He's a little bit of a combo guard in high school.
As then Adonis was fouled on his way to the basket, fouled by Barry, who picks up his 4th.
Shooting at the line of Stepinac, number 3, Adonis Ratliff.
As Ratliff picks up his first, or knocks down, I should say, his first. And makes it 2 for 2. Here is Fields. 70-52 is the lead for Stepinac. Almodovar. Foul line jumper. No good. AB battles for the loose ball, but again, Ratliff comes away. The corner kick, that is the sweet spot for Rivera. A rare miss from there. And then Patrick Massaroni puts both hands up. Pump the brakes, he tells his guys. Caressi loses the ball, and then an actual good foul by Caressi with Yancey starting to break away.
Yeah, in that situation, you're up 18. On this end, I was watching Coach Massaroni. He's still coaching. He wants his guys to get a better possession. I mean, he was looking for more ball movement there. It only took about 8 seconds off the shot clock.
And you consider, again, we mentioned it before, 2016, the semifinal game, an Archbishop Malloy team that featured Moses Brown and Cole Anthony. It was his second year as the head coach, and they lost on a last-second controversial call. He takes the ride back across the bridge thinking we might not ever get back here again, as Barry, back rim, no good. Ratliff with the rebounds. And now you fast forward, you still get the butterflies, get all those feelings. The Stepinac community maybe takes it for granted a little bit, thinking this is, you know, every single year now you've got to get here, and it is still special though.
Yeah, I arrived here about 1:30 today. I was walking past the baseball field. As you see, Jervis attacked the rim. I was walking past the baseball field, and there was 3 Stepinac alums from the class of 1965 coming to watch the game. And, you know, just kind of special for them to come and see their school and compete at this level and in a historic gym.
And the Stepinac community has come out to watch here. There's watch parties at places like the Rye Roadhouse. And Stepinac, we showed you in that cold open, you start and you look at some of the great teams, and Coco for 3, side rim, no good. You look at the Tallentines and Rice and Powell Memorial, unfortunately schools that are no longer around. And then St. Raymond's and Christ the King and Archbishop Malloy, and now you've got to put Stepinac at the top of that list as a team that has done something that has never been done before.
Absolutely.
Is the league different now? Of course.
Yeah, and it's a different style of player. That you know, that's what you will hear from the old timers, and I agree. But the athleticism, the skill level, it's a different time, it's a different era. But instead of comparing them and saying who's the best, let's just say that they're all great.
Offensive foul called on Jervis.
Offensive foul called on number 25.
And I think what is undisputable, and again, there's been some great players for Stepinac, right? Alan Griffin and AJ Griffin and RJ Davis, and this is, I think without question, the greatest Stepinac team to step on the court.
That you can say without question.
Fields, foul line jumper, no good. Gets the rebound, the 3, no good there either. As a bit of a hush here at Rose Hill as we approach the final minute, as the Stepinac faithful will start to get excited here. It was Josiah Jervis who...
Now here comes the curtain calls, Dylan.
Yeah, Josiah Jervis was the one who put it out there in April. Hey, we're going for 4. We're going for history. And these guys are 59.7 seconds away from achieving what they believed they would be able to do. As all those seniors now with the curtain call. What a moment for them. And for these guys as well, right? Novotny gets to come on, and Smith and Patrice Picant as well. As Fields ahead of the field for the layup.
Perhaps the last 2, no, I shouldn't say that.
You're never quite certain with Cardinal Hayes.
No, they can score in a hurry. And they're still playing, which you love.
Well, Malik Fields, as the unquestioned leader of this group, he knows no other way. Like, he is full throttle for 32 minutes and beyond. This is a game that didn't go his way, clearly. But he can leave Rose Hill today with his head held high, knowing that he gave his all.
I think the officials just told us that someone on the bench touched the ball. That's why there was a technical.
Yeah, Steve Salucio had indicated that to us. So Yancey with some more free throws, up to 22. So he has now matched his season high here at Fordham.
Yeah, the leaders for Cardinal Hayes today, you had Yancey, as you said, with 23, Fields with 14, Christian Brown with 10, and Barry chipped in 7. On the Stepinac side, Adonis Ratliff 21, Darius Ratliff 12, Rivera 12, and Jervis 10. So they had 4 guys in double digits.
And now Yancey can add on to it. And you think a little bit about what could be right for the future. And you always, unfortunately, in today's world, you have to almost put an asterisk or you temper what you are going to say. But you would hope with what should be back for Hayes, you know, this should be a really, I mean, you lose Fields and you lose a glue guy like Naz Campbell. But with what they would potentially have back, this could be a team that can again be back here next year.
Yeah, and you know, you have Hector Almodovar, the point guard, coming back. Yancey, the electric guard. Cone, electric. Christian Brown, shooting. Atariwa, Bird, Checksam, who's injured today. I mean, that's a really, really nice core coming back for Hayes.
28.7 seconds remaining.
Yeah, all you want to see here, you want to make sure no one gets hurt. You just want to get out of here with your health.
Piquant, the big fella. And then Smith was fouled.
Foul score number 2, Malik Fields. That's his second personal. Team 4. Second personal.
Piquant on Barry. Turns, fires. That might have been the shot that took the house down for the Stepinac faithful. Fields, one last layup. But Archbishop Stepinac, the celebration is on. They have done what no other team has done in the AA. They win a 4th consecutive Catholic League championship. They win this one 72-59. Congratulations to Archbishop Stepinac as they take this one 72-59. Final handshakes here for these teams.
Please stay off the court for post-game awards. Please stay off the court.
And we'll have the post-game awards as Archbishop Stepinac. It's one thing here if it's hard to win this regardless, Andrew, but to win it as the clear favorite, that speaks volumes to what Stepinac's been able to do here.
Yeah, sometimes when the expectations are so high and there's so much pressure attached to everything you're doing, it becomes more like a business than a game. And I think this group has handled their business while having fun and sticking together and playing the game the right way. And that's a tribute to Coach Massaroni and the staff for doing that. On the flip side, Coach Lodes and his group, I mean, they went after it all year long. The talk was that they could potentially be the only team to bring down Stepinac, and they had a tall task heading into this one, and they have nothing to be ashamed of with the season they had.
And if you're some of those returning guys, you soak in this moment. It's a moment that hurts right now, but when you hit the weight room and when you hit the gym and the extra shots that you put up are fueled by this moment.
Yeah, and you're trying to get here to do it again, and you know he'll give them Coach will give them a little bit of a breather, and then it's right back at it. This is a 12-month-a-year job, training, as you said, weight room, skill development, off-season team camps, off-season leagues, and then the open gyms, and everything that goes along with it is what makes it special, and it's the process, and that's why these coaches do it. And Hayes will be back.
Hayes 21-9 on the season with 4 of those losses to Archbishop Stepinac.
They might just put 21-5 in their yearbook.
And we do appreciate Malik Field. You saw the look on his face. He is a warrior, a competitor. He doesn't like to lose in anything that he does. But as we have been able to, as you see him on the bench, Andrew, we've been able to kind of chronicle this entire season for Hayes, and we've watched game by game through the course of 30 games what Malik Fields has done for this program, what he means for this team, and it's he goes out a winner, even though his team lost today.
Yeah, he embodies everything it means to be a Cardinal Hayes Cardinal, and he has nothing to be ashamed of. He has such a bright future heading off to Quinnipiac. His training begins and his development. We're going to be watching him, and Coach Pecora has a good one coming his way, and will do everything he can to improve his game.
So we'll send it to Naz there, on the PA for some of these post-game awards.
From Archbishop Stepinac, Adonis Ratcliffe. From Cardinal Hayes, Amadou Barry. And from Archbishop Stepinac, Hassan Kouresi. Ladies and gentlemen, the most valuable player for the 2026 All-Tournament team, from Archbishop Stepinac, Darius Ratcliffe. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the 2026 CHSAA Playoff All-Tournament team. Round of applause. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we will present the CHSAA 2026 finalist second place awards to the members of the Cardinals of Cardinal Hayes. Number 1, Hector Almodovar. From the first team all league, number 2, Malik Fields. Number 31, Song. And from the third team, All League, number 44, Amadou Barry. And ladies and gentlemen, to accept the CHSAA finalist second place team, the head coach for the Cardinals of Cardinal Hayes, Mr. Joe Lowe's. Assisted by John Holcomb, Brandon Brown, Kenny Adley, athletic director Dennis O'Donnell. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the Cardinals of Cardinal Hayes. Round of applause. And now, ladies and gentlemen, history has been made. The back-to-back-to-back-to-back 4P champions, Archbishop Stepinac Crusaders. Number 0, Jordan Archibald. From the first team All-League of McDonald All-American, number 1, Darius Ratcliffe. Number 2, Amir Smith. From the third team All-League of McDonald All-American, number 3, Adonis Ratcliffe. Number 4, Josh Rivera. From the first team All-League, number 5, Hassan Kourasi. Number 10, Dylan Perry. Number 11, Jack Coco. Number 12, Ethan Riumano. Number 13, Tristan Robinson. Number 14, Larry Jenkins. Number 22, Andrew Ray Rosario. A McDonald All-American, the most valuable player, number 25, Josiah Jervis. Number 30, Elijah Novotny. And number 34, Patrice Buchan. And ladies and gentlemen, the head coach to collect the championship team plaque, 4P champion, Mr. Patrick Bassaroni. Assisted by Ronnie Sling, Adam Shep, and Alexis Nunez. Ladies and gentlemen, the rotating CHSAA championship trophy. Stand by for the last award. Stand by for the last award. Please stand by. One more award. Please stand by. Ladies and gentlemen, the
moment for Archbishop Stepinac. You see Patrick Massaroni with the trophy right in the middle. You know, no doubt it's a proud moment. His mom, Doreen, was courtside along with his wife, Sandra, the former All-State basketball player in New Jersey. This means a lot to the Massaroni clan and, of course, for Stepinac Nation as well.
Yeah, it's so vital to have a supportive family as a head coach, to do what you do all year round, the time away from the family. It adds up, and these are the moments you do it for. And so kudos to Coach Massaroni and his support staff at home.
No doubt, and this is a group that has placed themselves into the annals of history in this great league. The first AA team to win 4 straight championships, and they all put up the 4 fingers to celebrate. And we do have an opportunity before we have our interview to take a look, Andrew, maybe get some stats here, final stats. We'll get that in a moment as you see the guys putting on their championship T-shirts, which will no doubt be a hot commodity up in White Plains. Because as we know, the Stepinac community, they run large. So they will look to get themselves on that as we take a look now at the final stats for this one, Andrew.
That T-shirt will be worth something one day.
No doubt.
Yeah, the only stat that matters is the final score. It's 72-59, but you look at how they got there, the rebounding advantage, the assist advantage, and then the points in the paint. Look at how dramatic that differential was. It was a 42-24 differential, and the turnovers became equal as the game progressed. But really, points in the paint, the height, athleticism of the Ratliff brothers, Jervis and Caressi getting to the rim, and Rivera sticking some shots. I mean, they were just too much to handle for Hayes today.
And one of the consistent things, you look at that assist number. That's 21 assists on 29 makes. They share the ball so well, and I think people will remember the names and the Division I starting 5 and everything that comes with Stepinac. But they need to remember, that's going to be maybe the thing that people might forget is how unselfish this group has been throughout.
Yeah, and when defense is key on one guy, another guy steps up, and that goes to your point about sharing the basketball and assisted baskets, and they really have been a team that if you're open, you shoot it. If you're guarded, you pass it.
We're going to be joined here by our player of the game. It will be Josiah Jervis, and Josiah will be joined by his boys as well. As what a game, Josiah, Dylan Butler, Andrew DeLoya, and first off, man, congratulations.
Yes, sir.
You were a month away from winning a third, and you put it out there. You let it be known that you're looking to make history. And today, on this day, you guys achieved that. How great does that feel?
Yeah, it's a great feeling, from the time I was a freshman and now, winning 4 championships is crazy to think about. Like I told y'all last year, we was going to get it done, and our team stuck together, and I'm just proud of us.
Yeah, speak to us about what it felt like to have to sit on the bench during that semifinal game. It must have been so difficult for you because it was difficult for us to watch you sit there. So can you speak about that a little bit?
Yeah, I'm not known for, getting hurt or sitting out for a game. But, I was just encouraging my teammates and cheering them on. I definitely wanted to be out there on the court then, but I knew they was going to get that win and get here to the championship game.
And, Josiah, too, we were just said before you guys came here, the McDonald's All-Americans, the D1 guys, that's going to eventually be the legacy of this team. But tonight was like a lot of other wins for you guys. 21 assists on 29 makes, the unselfishness, how much you share the basketball. I mean, how much of a big part of winning is that for you guys?
Yeah, it's definitely a big part. Coach Pat always preached us that we over me mindset, and, we had to, the leading scorer, like I've been leading scorer on the team, and, today was just, facilitate the ball and do whatever it takes to win. That's what I did.
All right, $1 million question for you. What are the similarities between Coach Mass and Coach Izzo?
They passion. Like you just seen, he just got on Haas for that technical foul. I mean, they both, same people.
And you'll go to East Lansing as a guy again who made history. I know you love this league, and you love this team, and what's going to be your biggest memory of your time at Stepinac?
Just being around the guys and, you know, being in that high school atmosphere, you know, the road games, the trips, you know, I'm definitely going to miss it. You know, the coaching from Coach Pat, everything.
All right, that's Josiah Jervis, player of the game, man of the moment. Enjoy the McDonald's All-American experience and enjoy this championship. Archbishop Stepinac, 4-time champions here in this league. Great job by those guys. And look at how respectful they are. They make sure the headset is off of Josiah.
I love it. We've been guarding the headset all year long.
But what a moment here, and again, it's one, Andrew, that, you know, you've been in these experiences as a head coach at Northport. You won a Long Island championship, and these championship moments are things you take with you for a lifetime.
Yeah, and the beauty of this is it was covered by Varsity Media. It's not a plug for us, but these guys will be able to go back to this broadcast and, you know, oh, remember that day at Fordham, and they'll have the memory. Like you said earlier, they'll be able to show their kids what type of player they were, and that's what's really special. Is they don't realize right now in the moment, but 10 years from now, 15 years from now, Jack Coco will be telling his kids that he scored 27 in the game. It's just really special, the coverage that these guys got, and the memories that were created.
No doubt about it. Again, Archbishop Stepinac, they are your 4-time defending champions. Well, the scene was set here at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon as Malik Fields and Cardinal Hayes were ready to do battle with the Ratliff boys and Archbishop Stepinac. And it was a lot of Ratliff action. Adonis to Darius for 2 of his 12. And then AB makes his way to the basket. He would finish with 7. And then Josh Rivera, the finish, Adonis with the finish, and then the triple from Rivera, and then the celebration was on. It will go from the Bronx and make its way up to White Plains. Archbishop Stepinac, they are your 4-time Catholic AA champions. For our entire Varsity Media crew, our executive producer, Ben Turchin, our technical director, Chris Sweeney, Rebecca Kazaks, Kevin Catalanato, and Ben Turchin himself, bringing you all those great moving images. For my broadcast partner throughout this entire year, Andrew DeLoya, I'm Dylan Butler, thanking you for joining us from Rose Hill Gymnasium. We look forward to seeing you next time right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.